If I could have your attention here in the Media Center, we are now joined by tonight's third-place finisher in the Lucas Oil 150, and more importantly, a member of the inaugural NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship 4, and that's our two-time champion, Matt Crafton. Matt, tough race for everybody out there tonight, and I mean, how tense was it for you behind that wheel?
I mean, I can promise you there wasn't a lap that wasn't tense. I mean, we drove as hard as we could from the green flag to the checkered flag. And Timothy, I was proud of him. I mean, he just drove and he took off the gloves. He was on the outside. I mean, inside, he was doing everything he could to get himself into the chase. And I was trying to just stay at least one spot behind him at all the times. And I knew that would put me in. And we just raced hard. And if we came up short, we came up short. But at the end of the day, we didn't.
Okay, we'll open up the floor for questions. If you have a question for Matt, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. Any questions for Matt Crafton? I do have a question for you, Matt. You know, you've sealed the championship twice in Miami. Now it's winner take all, going down to Miami, equal shot to win it all. Let's look ahead to Miami. What's your thoughts going into that race?
I have no friends. All my friends are going to come in yellow fire suits with Menards on them, and we're going to take our gloves off, and I promise you we're going to have no friends going into that race, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win.
Outstanding. Well, good luck next week in Miami. El, we do have a question. Thanks, Bob.
Who has friends in Miami? Aren't you all? I mean, you've got a Red Horse, you've got a GMS, and a Kyle Busch. So it seems like 4 different teams.
Like I just said, I've got one group that have yellow Menard suits on that work on my truck. Those are all my friends, and I can promise you that I'm not going to have any group that's going to work any harder in this garage than every one of these Thorsport guys on this Menards Toyota Tundra. They are going to work their butts off this coming week to give ourselves a shot at winning that championship, and we're going to do whatever it takes. I promise that.
Okay, we're going to go to Reed and then
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Matt, do you think the experience of having done this twice before is going to help you down there?
Yeah, without a doubt. I have nothing to lose, to be honest. I've done it twice, and coming into here, I was talking to a few people, and they felt like telling me, you don't look like you have any pressure on you, and I didn't. I mean, if it was meant to be, it would be, and if we got eliminated today, we had 2017 to go on to. So we came here, and now we're in the final round, and I'm looking forward to it.
Chris
Knight, catchfence.com. Matt, there's 3 veterans, you, Peters, and Sauter against the rookie Bell. Do you guys think you have an advantage over him?
I don't think there's anybody that's going to have an advantage. I mean, whoever has the best truck and best man will win that night, I guess. We'll find out. I'm sure all of the Toyotas are going to be good without a doubt.
Go to Lee.
When you look at it, though, and the kind of run Sauter's been on lately, you think he's probably your closest competition. I mean, they just really seem to have found something in the later state, in the chase.
I'll do whatever it takes to win the race and that championship. I promise you that, and I'm sure he's going to be good, and there's going to be a few of them. But I have nothing to lose, a lot to win.
Well, Matt, congratulations on making the championship 4, and good luck in Miami.
Thank you.
We are now joined by Christopher Bell, driver of the number 4 Toyota Tundra. Boy, we're just flaming out here. You finished 7th today's race, but most importantly, you punched your ticket into the championship 4. How stressful was it out there? It seemed like every lap there was something on the line.
Yeah, well, it's some days it's not your day, but today was definitely our day, that's for sure. And I don't know what happened. We had such a good Tundra there at the beginning of the race, and the light switch flipped off there, but with the restart, I think about 50-40 to go, and then all of a sudden we just got ate up on the restart, and a car slid in front of us, and just kind of felt like that was the end of the year right there. But the good Lord was on our side, and apparently wanted us to go and race for a championship in Homestead. But I hate it for William, because obviously he was one of the trucks that was expected to go to Homestead and be the guy to beat, really. So, it's not pretty how we got in, but we got in, and now we're going to be a lot better than what we were today.
Okay, we're going to go to Reed here and work our way around.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire. It sounds like you've got some mixed feelings about it, the fact that that you're in at the expense of a teammate.
Yeah, well, it sucks, man. You know, we didn't want to get in that way, but we wanted to get in. That was the bottom line, and now we're in. So I'm just really disappointed in myself tonight because my teammates were both really fast, and I was kind of struggling to stay up with them, and then I got swallowed up on the restart. So just disappointed in myself overall because I feel like that's just not how the way we wanted to get in the chase.
We are now joined here on stage by Timothy Peters, driver of the number 17 Red Horse Toyota. Timothy, welcome to the Championship 4. You're going to be racing for a title in Miami. How intense was it out there for you tonight?
A little intense, you know, lying if I said it wasn't. But, you know, we unloaded today and off a little bit, and Shane and all the guys really worked hard to get our balance turned around. You know, this is a pretty cool moment to set up here and, you know, myself and Christopher and Matt and Johnny running for a championship. To be involved with the first chase is pretty cool. So this one goes to the men and women of Red Horse Racing, Shane Huffman and all the crew guys, the pit row guys. They worked their butts off. Good Lord has really blessed us for sure. You know, we've been lucky a lot of times and maybe finished some races that we probably shouldn't have. So Homestead is a pretty decent track for us. So looking forward to going down there and seeing what we got. What's the worst we can finish? 4th.
There you go. We'll open the floor to questions. We'll go to Bob.
For both of you, can you just kind of tell us what you think about Homestead, how you feel about your preparation for there and your experience there and your chances?
Well, I guess I'll start. So obviously I don't have the experience that these guys do, but whenever we went to Homestead last year, I felt like I ran the whole race. So I was able to get some seat time there compared to coming to a place like this where I don't have any experience. But Homestead is a really unique place and really worn out, and it's really fun to race on. So I'm excited to get there, and I know I'm going to have a really fast 100 underneath me. So it's going to be fun to be able to race for a championship.
You know, Homestead's been a great track for us. You know, we've been able to finish in the top 5 in the last couple of years, 3 years there, and I love that place. You know, worn out racetrack, right up by the fence, and if that isn't working, you can go to the bottom. Just a lot of different characteristics of that racetrack that can help your balance, and I'm ready. I heard they're racing tomorrow. You guys going to be there?
Go to Lee.
Timothy, you've raced. Sorry, you've raced around Daniel a lot. Are you surprised it took him this long to win?
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's a great guy, and he's a great talent. It's cool to see him get a win for sure. Yeah, definitely surprised that it's been this long, but hey, you know, it's a tough series, you know. It's, you know, say what you want. Across the board, you know, it's the best racing there is, and this is the hardest chase to make. So I'm proud of what we have accomplished, and, you know, Daniel's good, but at the same time I want to beat him too.
Any additional questions? Guys, congratulations on punching your ticket to Miami, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
I would have if I didn't screw up.
We are now joined by tonight's runner-up finisher and already a member of the championship for Johnny Sauter, driver of the number 21 Allegiant Travel Chevrolet. Johnny, 2 wins in this round, 2nd place tonight. You said you screwed up. Walk us through that one.
Well, first of all, we proud everybody at GMS on our Allegiant Travel Chevy. Had a great truck, especially on long runs tonight. Unfortunately, could not get going on the short run, was just extremely loose. So, you know, if that race goes green to the end, I think we got a little bit different outcome. We were really, really eating that 51's lunch. You know, going through the corners, we were gaining on them really fast. So, and I knew at the end there, I needed to get a good restart, and I just didn't get the restart that I needed. So I got nobody to blame but myself for that. But, you know, just proud of everybody's effort. You know, this is what we needed. We needed to keep pushing and keep pushing. Even though everybody said there's no pressure, this is racing. There's always pressure. So you need to perform week in and week out. So we did a good job tonight, and you know, next week is a whole new ball game.
Open for questions here. If you have a question, we'll start with Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Johnny, what have you guys found here at the end of the year that has all of a sudden propelled you to the front of the field the way you are?
Well, I can't tell you that, but no, a lot of things. I mean, it's I can't just put my finger on one thing. It's a lot of little things, and a lot of little things is 100th here, 100th there. Next thing you know, you've got a 10th, then you got 2/10. So, we've just been working very hard through the middle summer months, trying different packages, setups, things like that, and feel like we've honed in on something that suits my driving style. So, we've had good trucks all year. I mean, we've Chevrolet is very generous about wind tunnel time. I mean, we know we're on par with all that stuff, ECR power. So it was just up to us to get our chassis a little bit better handling wise, and I feel like we're really, really close.
Johnny Rents Brown, race chaser online at the Performance Motorsports Network. What is it about Homestead? I'm going to go off what everyone else has been saying. What is it about Homestead that makes it so much fun? Is it the different grooves for you? What makes Homestead fun for you, especially with the championship on the line and how many grooves we have?
Well, I think, I was listening to Jimmy Johnson give an interview today, and he said it best that, Homestead races like no other racetrack we really go to all year. So, it's kind of the same for everybody. It's a one race, season, I guess, or, one race in the schedule for the year. And, it's just, it's a mile and a half, but to me, it races a lot like a short track. You can, do things that you typically wouldn't do at another mile and a half. I mean, for us in the trucks, using brakes and things like that. So, and I think it's just real inviting, obviously, that the asphalt's getting a little bit of age on it, and people are able to run all over the place. I mean, you can run around the bottom, the middle, top, whatever you want to do, and there's options there. And I think as racers, you like to have options. If your truck isn't doing what you need it to do in a certain place, you can move around a little bit.
Okay, we're going to go to Bob and then up front to Chris.
2 firsts and a second in your last 3 races. Are you the driver to beat next week?
Absolutely, Bob. No. I mean, I like to think so. Anything can happen down there. But, somebody just asked me down on pit road, what's your strategy to try to win the champion? I said, well, to win the race, right? I mean, that's the best way to do it. But, you're going to have to go down there and be aggressive and also be a little bit smart. So I'm not really sure. I think it's new for everybody. I don't think anybody really knows what the official strategy is, but I think you're going to have to be fast. With the way people are running and the guys that are in the chase, I think I wouldn't be surprised if the champion won the race.
Chris and then Lee.
ChrisKnight@catchruns.com. Johnny, you've got a lot of laps at Homestead next week, so will you go there and sandbag and not show what you have, or will you guys go come out of the box swinging and prove that you guys have the truck to beat?
I don't know anybody that sandbags. I mean, I don't. Whatever I have every week is what I show. So, I'm going to go out there and try to run it as hard as I possibly can. I mean, the tires fall off really fast there, from what I remember, and I think this year will be no different. So it's very important to push it right off the truck to know where you're at on initial speed, and then see where you fall off to see how you're going to race.
Were you in here for any of Crafton's comments?
No.
He basically says he has no friends out there and nothing to lose. Are you going to have that take no prisoners attitude when you go into Homestead as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to do anything stupid, obviously, but, yeah, you have to have that mentality. Hell, I'm the only Chevrolet in this thing. So, it's a gaggle of other manufacturers that we're racing against for the championship. So, yeah, I mean, I don't, out of all the guys in the chase, I guess, I don't really have a lot of friends. So that's all good. I mean, the only friends I need down there are the guys on my team.
You said before you're kind of carrying the banner for the Sauters in NASCAR to go out and win that first title. I mean, has that reflection come in? Have you heard from your brothers? I mean, what's kind of the thoughts and feelings going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I hear from them, but to be honest with you, we don't talk a lot about that kind of stuff. I mean, they know that, I know what I need to do. And, you get an occasional text from them, hey, whatever, go get them, that kind of stuff. But, yeah, I mean, just, the championship would be obviously a big feather in my cap, for me personally. But for GMS as an organization, only in their second year really doing this truck thing, even to have a truck. And I was hoping Ben would get in tonight because of the trouble that the 9 had, unfortunately, but it didn't work out. So, yeah, I mean, look, the championship would be very cool, and not just for me, but for my family. I mean, it's not just, I've said this before, it's not just the NASCAR racing, it's the racing for the last 40 years or 50 years, whatever it was, and the generations of racing that's ensued. And just, I'm a racer. I love racing, whether it's Saturday night at Dell's Motor Speedway or running for a championship at Homestead, Miami. So it would just be very cool, very special to share that with all my family.
Go back to Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. Also, just a couple of days when you have to show up in Miami and Homestead. Is there a possibility to do some simulation with a car that you have it prepared already when you show up in Miami?
We have simulation as far as setups and things like that through Chevrolet. So we can simulate setups and different things like that. But there is no simulation like on-track time. So, as far as me as a driver being able to sit in a simulator somewhere and do that kind of stuff, I don't, that's tough. Obviously, we don't have access to that, and I don't really think it's really that important for me to get laps there. But I promise you, people will be working around the clock and, crossing their T's, dotting their I's, just going through that truck with a fine-tooth comb and making sure we have everything covered as far as that goes. But, we got a lot of different setup packages to go down there from simulation, so hopefully they work.
Well, Johnny, this is not a simulation. You're going to be racing for a championship next week. Good luck, and we'll see you down in Miami.
Thank you very much.
It's about time you joined me in here. Huh?
Yeah, right?
Congratulations.
I miss this place. In the front row? What does this mean?
What did you just do to me?
In the front row?
Bono, is it really you?
I think you have to make that thing.
If I could have your attention here in the media center, we are joined by tonight's race-winning team for the 22nd annual Lucas Oil 150. We have Daniel Suarez, driver of the number 51 ARRIS Toyota, and crew chief Kevin Bono Manion. With the win this evening, this is not only Daniel's first NASCAR Camping World Truck Series victory, but it also seals the 9th Manufacturers Championship for Toyota in 13 seasons in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and it's also the 13th win this season for Toyota. Big night for you, Daniel. Talk about what it took for you to get the victory lane.
Well, definitely a lot of work and a lot of patience since last year. Last year we finished several times in second place finishes, and this year as well, if I remember correctly. And it's been hard for some reason to get that first victory. Sometimes we are super strong and just things happens. But very, very happy that we were able to finally make it, get it done with Bono doing a really good job. We had a really fast ARRIS Toyota Tundra all day long. We unload very good, and when we unload good, normally it's really good to start in a really good starting point. So very, very happy for that, and looking forward to try to do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow as well, but next week in the last race and most important race of the season as well.
Bono, tonight the 9 was dominant out there, but then you kept that truck in position to win this race. Talk about your thoughts on the pit box.
Yeah, sometimes you need a little help, and our nine Rudy and them guys are a great team, great teammates, and champions for sure. So, but tonight was our night. This is a little. We were really close this year. Bristol, we thought it was real close. We had a tire go down, but. So it's a good win. Proud to support Toyota and ARRIS, and good to hear that wrapped up the manufacturers champion tonight. That's pretty cool being part of that and helping. But like Daniel, it's also my first truck series win, so that's pretty cool. Like I said, it's really. I talked to Kyle last year about some things, and he offered me the job and just the opportunity to make it back to victory lane with a competitive team, manufacturer, and everything is my sole decision on why I chose to come here, so I'm really happy about that.
It's outstanding. Let's open the floor for questions. If you have a question, we'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start here with Rance and go to Bob and then to Wolfgang.
Daniel Rents Brown, Race Chaser Online and the Performance Motorsports Network. after this win, does this help you for tomorrow, especially with the championship being the way it is for tomorrow, going into for the lock and for the Homestead? Does this help you with any learning curves going into tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the reasons that I really enjoy to race the trucks, because there is always some good stuff that you can translate for the Xfinity race. We use the same tire. Obviously, we race in the same conditions at night. So there is a lot of stuff that you can learn from a truck race to apply in Xfinity race. And I feel like right now, actually, I have some good information to talk with my crew chief over there, Scott, and the guys. So I really enjoy to race the trucks a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. It's difficult. The competition is tough, and it's always good. I really enjoy to be racing anything I can, and obviously very thankful with ARRIS, with Toyota, and with KBM for giving me this opportunity.
Good. Bob?
Daniel, safe to assume that with just needing a 15th place tomorrow, that you feel like that if you just go out there and don't make any mistakes, that you should advance?
No, I'm not that kind of driver. I'm going to go out there to try to be competitive, try to do exactly the same thing that we've been doing in the last month and a half. Somebody told me today that our average finish since we started the chase has been 2.9, which I think is something really good. I didn't know that. So try to keep it up. Try to do the same thing. We don't have to step back for any reasons. We have to keep pushing, trying to continue our momentum, because that's the best way to do it for tomorrow and for next weekend.
Wolfgang?
Wolfgang Monzer from Germany, Ranchport Press Agency. Daniel, early in the race, around 35 to 45, lap 45, you were leading in front of Byron, and then you were dropping back. What was the reason for that? You lost speed, or was there traffic problems? And then you said earlier you can transfer, you learn from truck race for Xfinity. So for tomorrow, for the Xfinity qualifying, you know exactly how to set up your car?
Well, I don't really know exactly, but I have an idea. But I really feel like we had a fast ARRIS Toyota Tundra, and Byron as well. Byron was just in a different league. He was super fast. For some reason, he was able to roll the center of the corner better than anyone out there, honestly. But for some reason, I think he made a little mistake on the restart that I was able to make the pass on him, and after that, I was trying to hold him off, but he was a little faster than me the whole time. And on traffic, he was able to work the track better and make the pass back on me. But like I said, definitely there is some good stuff from today that I feel like I learned to apply for tomorrow's race.
Go next to Jim.
Jim Hunter, Motorsport.com for Bono. You've had a lot of experience in NASCAR with a lot of different drivers and different series. I just wondered what your take is on Daniel and how he's progressed relatively quickly since he came over here.
Yeah, when I knew I was taking the job, I studied up on Daniel a little bit, his history and the different series he's raced in. And I think he's shown great promise this year in the Xfinity side, and also on the truck side. Looking at his history at KBM last year, a lot of second place finishes, so really close. And Daniel is really difficult to hear on the radio during the race, but he doesn't talk a whole lot, and he's even on Channel 2 today, the crazy Chris Osborne, the spotter, and I said, what do you think, top or bottom? And Chris says, I think the bottom. I said, I think the top. And never even asked Daniel. We just, he's a quiet guy and just kept it quiet and come to the line. He chose the top, and I thought that was the right move, and he did a great job holding Johnny off. But, I think he's progressed extremely fast. He's in great equipment with great teams and great manufacturers. So in Toyota, so you can't ask for anything more. He's got a bright future.
We'll go to Kenny next, then back to Wolfgang.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com for Bono and for Daniel both. There's, I guess, in light of Williams failing to make the championship round, there's already been some complaints out there that this format isn't about crowning the best team, best driver, that it's all about the one race performance. How do you guys address that?
Well, that's racing. Unfortunately, we're in a sport where we depend of so many different factors: tires, engines, being in a good position in the race, trying to do no wreck on restarts, transmissions, so many different factors. And that's part of racing. Definitely, Byron, he has done an excellent job the entire year, winning a lot of races. He did an excellent job today, leading the race, having the best truck out there, and leading a lot of laps. But you have to be consistent at the same time. When you make a mistake, this is the hard part of about this format, that you can make mistakes. You need to be consistent, and you need to be winning races. If you make one big mistake, that's it. So yeah, it is tough, but it's the same for everyone. So we are racing in this format, and we have to learn how to make ourselves better in this format.
I think there's NASCAR does a great job with changing this, and funny you asked this question, because this conversation came up today. I was in the NASCAR hauler talking with the series director, and an old spotter of mine came in there, and he called it the Bono rule. In 2010, with Jamie McMurray, we won 3 races and didn't make the chase, so they changed the format. So I think NASCAR is always a work in progress, and these rules are a work in progress in the format. And I think NASCAR does a good job having a level playing field, and also trying to make sure that we crown the correct champion. And so as obviously people are complaining already, I haven't heard that, but there may be a William Byron rule, or we'll see what happens in the Cup Series race tomorrow, or Sunday rather, in Xfinity. But it's a work in progress, and they can put different things in, I think, to prevent maybe something like that. But the rules are stated. We know what they are. William had, and that team had 2 other opportunities prior to this to get a win. So it emphasizes on wins. So that's very important. And Johnny Sauter obviously capitalized on that in the last 2 races. But work in progress, and we'll just play by the rules now, and maybe it'll change sooner or later.
Wolfgang?
Question for the crew chief. You said that Daniel is relatively quiet when you have to talk to him. When you need information, how can you motivate him to talk more?
I was quiet because I was hungry.
No, when it's time to talk, we talk, and I think the spotter is very important, that Daniel has the same spotter in both series that he runs in. And so when I say, "Crazy, what did he say?" He said, "I don't know. What did he say? I don't know." So it's just, he's out there racing, and it's the motor noise and this, that, and the other thing. Like I said, when the caution comes out, we can talk and understand everything good. But there's nothing wrong with being quiet. I'm fairly quiet, right, Lee?
Greg Fresquez, Phoenix Raceway. Para Dani, en español, por favor, unas palabras sobre qué te crees de Phoenix, la pista y la comunidad hispana.
Pues bueno, Phoenix, como tú sabes, Greg, es como mi casa. He estado corriendo aquí ya por varios años, desde que me mudé a los Estados Unidos. Mis primeras carreras aquí en Phoenix fueron muy buenas, en la K&N Series, en la NASCAR Mexico Series, ahora en la NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, y obviamente NASCAR Xfinity Series. Y la comunidad, los fans aquí me han tratado de maravilla. Muchos amigos de estaciones de radio, amigos fuera de las carreras. No se me va a olvidar que aquí en Phoenix fue uno de los primeros lugares que cuando yo corría a K&N, algunas personas me reconocían en algún restaurante mexicano o algo así. Entonces es algo muy padre venir aquí. Es una comunidad muy padre y muy bonita, y obviamente demasiado apoyo de todos los fans latinoamericanos para mí, y eso es algo que siempre se agradece mucho. Entonces, como ya lo mencioné, Phoenix ha sido una pista muy buena para mí, y la contemplo una de las pistas como de casa.
Gracias. Y un corto así, el mismo, pero en inglés, pero corto.
I think I forgot what I said already. He wanted me to say the same thing in English, but I think I forgot the answer. But no, I think I really like Phoenix a lot. Phoenix is like my second home here. I don't have a home racetrack here in the U.S. obviously, but since my first days here in the Canyon Series, I used to race here in Phoenix. And I had a lot of fun racing here, honestly. I raced here in the NASCAR Mexico Series as well. We won a race with a pass in the last lap. I just enjoy racing here a lot. This is a really good place for me. The fans are great. A lot of Latin American fans, and I just feel a lot of support from this racetrack and from the community. So I just feel very comfortable coming here and having a strong runs.
See.
Hola, Azalia, Michelle Whitley con Phoenix International Raceway. Yo también creo que ya me contestaste en inglés, pero en español, por favor. ¿Qué se siente ganar aquí en Phoenix?
Pues bueno, ya habíamos ganado aquí en Phoenix en la categoría de México y definitivamente se siente muy bien. Se siente bien ganar en una pista que la catalogo como casa y esperemos que sea la segunda victoria de muchos.
Okay, well, Daniel.
I can tell you.
Muy bien. Congratulations, Daniel, on the victory, and Bono, congratulations on your first NASCAR Camping World Truck Series victory.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. What? Tomorrow you can be in the front row.